Time now for another episode of Pottawattamie County Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. I don't know how I sound outside of my head. I know inside of my head it doesn't sound good at all. And I don't feel as bad as it sounds. It's a chest cold kind of thing, and it's whatever is going around has grabbed a hold of me. I've got some wonderful advice on some different things I can take to help kick it. So I'm going to actually head over to Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market here in just a little bit to go see whether or not she has something that might help hurry this along because, I mean, you know, it's wintertime. People get sick. There's been some horrible things going around, things that have taken people down for a week or two. That's not what I have. I am very fortunate that I'm upright and things are going pretty well. So I thank so much for the wonderful advice I've been getting. And I'm looking forward to getting past this. And also, I was thinking today that, you know, spring is not that far away. And we're going to be seeing warmer temperatures before we know it because, well, next week is the beginning of February, and 4 weeks after that is the start of March. It's that soon. So hang in there. We're going to get through this, and I'm looking forward to seeing springtime once again here in our area. Coming up today, going to be kind of an entrepreneurial show as we welcome Heather Hoeft from Heather's Hair Hut into the studio, and she's going to tell us about some of the things that she is working on other than just in her salon. We do talk about her salon, but also she has some other projects. And it's kind of a kindred spirit with Heather coming in here because her mind just is always thinking and always coming up with different ideas. And we're going to learn about some of those today on Pottawattamie County Roots. The Jenny Edmondson Foundation believes healthcare goes beyond hospital walls through its Caring for Our Communities initiative. The foundation helps high-risk, low-income, and underserved individuals access resources that remove barriers to better health and long-term well-being. And each year, the foundation also brings communities together through Dance to the Beat, a signature event that raises critical funds for uninsured and underinsured heart patients. Those funds help provide treatment, medication, rehabilitation, and life-saving support. Learn more, get involved, support the mission at jehfoundation.org. Pottawattamie County Roots brought to you by Dave Lawrence, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. And as I mentioned, when you're looking for all natural health solutions in Southwest Iowa, Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market, she's located in Council Bluffs at 805 South Main Street. She is your go-to for a wide selection of vitamins, supplements, essential oils, herbal remedies, and she can help you reach your health goals. Again, her address, 805 South Main Street in Council Bluffs. Her web address is bambisgreenacres.com. Bambi's Green Acres Natural Market, putting health in your hands. The last time we had a chance to talk with Heather Hoeft from Heather's Hair Hut, it was online, and you were holding up a phone and showing me around in your studio.
Was.
This time, you came into my studio.
Yes.
What do you think? This is our first time
It's really
in?
cute. I really like it. It's nice. Nice to get out of the house and see somebody else's space.
You know, that is because your salon is part of your home.
Yes.
So can be tough sometimes, I would think, that it just feels like you're never going anywhere.
Right. Yeah. A lot of times I do. In the winter, I don't mind as much, but it's nice to get out here and there.
Yeah, and, well, we don't have a terrible amount of snow, but the cold has just been...
The cold's been awful.
It's been awful here lately. Has that affected much of folks being able to make it to you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, Friday I had people cancel because obviously older people do not want to be out in this weather. Young people don't want to be out in it. You know, and they reschedule or... if the roads are bad, people, you know, they let their hair grow. They're not going out as much. It's after the holidays. So usually after the first year, we'll get a little downtime. I get some caught up on paperwork done after the holidays and whatnot. So
I don't know how to do that let your hair grow thing.
Yeah.
If I can feel it on my neck, it's driving me crazy.
Guys usually. Yeah. But then you get some of your older country boys, your farmers, that wear their hats anyway, and they don't care. So, you know. It just depends. Everybody's different, for sure.
So did come through a pretty good holiday and everything?
Oh, yeah. Holiday, December was busy as all get out, so it was great, as always.
When you have people come in, are they scheduling on the phone, or is there an online thing? How do you do that?
Well, I just do, they call my cell phone. It's my cell numbers. I've had it for 20 some years. I've kept it. They call me. I did get a website. That is new.
Yeah.
One of my clients, she does it on the side for fun. And she built me a website, and now there is a button that you can click, and it says book now, and it actually calls me directly.
Oh, it'll call you.
It'll call me instead of booking online. I know a lot of things people do online, but booking is kind of hard for a hairstylist, as in I can give you a slot online and say, okay, you're going to get a foil, but are you really getting a foil? How much hair do you have? How much time? So I like to personally talk to somebody if I'm booking them. That way I know my own schedule and my own timing.
Well, that's a good point that I'd never thought of before in your line of work, that someone may need more time than they think they do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. So that would be like I'm not foiling my hair, but but for some people, if it probably takes longer.
Sure, absolutely.
Kind of thing.
And men's haircuts are obviously quicker, and it just depends on what services they're going to get done. And I am in a small town. It is my home. That is my personal house and my space, so I just like to make my business very personable. So I don't do online booking. Call me old school, and I'm okay with that. And
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
And
at
a
all.
lot of people, if they do book online, I hear other people, they say, oh, well, I tried to book online and I can't get in, or blah, 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 because computers are still computers at the end of the day, and can frustrate everybody. So I just like to keep it that way.
Well, after you and I met, and I learned a little bit more about what you do and your husband does, and all of the different projects you're putting together, you have that entrepreneurial mind. You look at something and you say, you know what, I can do that better.
Yeah,
you
I
do that a
try.
lot.
My husband thinks I'm crazy. I come up with all these wild ideas all the time, and he is like the master plan of helping me execute them. So it works out well. So.
Well, and that he was kind of instrumental in getting that salon in your home, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It would not be there if it was not for him.
Well, something else that you brought in here, so you can probably see this on camera, is this is a candle that you made, correct?
Yeah, my husband and I made them while it was below zero this last weekend.
So just for fun?
Just for fun, yeah. I am going to sell them in our salon eventually. My good friend, they own the coffee shop in Neola, Charlie Lou's. Jamie makes stickers. She makes my stuff, my merch, and so she's making me stickers to put on my candles to be able to sell. February, I always run some big promotions. It's Valentine's Day. People like to get together with, friends, go out, look their best, so that type of stuff. I do have a small retail section in my salon of hair products because a lot of times people don't know what to use or they're not educated on it. We do live rural, so not everybody does go to town all the time, so I try to make that convenient. And so then since we started selling shirts, now we're dipping into candles. I'm going to open a greenhouse, hopefully, in May. Yes, my husband thinks I'm nuts. I think it's going to be mobile. Groovy Greens 51576. I have propagated plants since 2020 and sold them actually out of my salon.
So what kind of plants?
All kinds of flowers, just different flowers. I started with purple heart vine, which is really hard to kill. And I just became a green thumb. I've done it for over 20 years. I have plants all over in my house. In October, it took me 2 months to get all the plants inside for winter.
Wow.
Because we live on an acreage and I have lots of space and we love flowers. And when we were in Arizona, we didn't take plants in. You didn't have the weather, like we do here. So it's different climate, different. So I told my husband, I said, I really need a greenhouse. And he says, well, are you going to make money on this? And I said, well, no, maybe not, but I'm going to give it a go. So, and flowers always make people happy, and decor. Yeah. And unique type of gifts and things that you cannot find. Yeah.
You bring up a good point, though, that we don't always know the results or the outcome. We can plan all we want,
right?
But some things we cannot control, and
Correct.
We just have to prepare everything the best way that we can. And I say it all the time here when we're talking about something. It's just, plan for success.
Right.
That the plan is that it's going to work.
Right.
Because if you put contingency plans and, well, if it fails and that kind of thing, well, then that path now exists.
Right,
And
right.
I don't want to create it. I don't
No.
want to help it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is hard enough right now, and I like to stay in my own little world in my own house and do my own thing. We have 4 dogs, French bulldogs, that keep us extremely busy. And then I have he'll be 21 next month, son that's still at home. That helps me out, and we hang out. So we kind of do our own thing, and it's nice that I am open 6 days a week doing hair. I'm still, so I'm available because I like life to be convenient, and especially now with the kids in sports, things like that. Wrestling's huge going on around there. Underwood's huge in sports, kids' activities and stuff. So it's harder for parents to get their kids in. So I am open, in the evenings as well. So it's really kind of convenient to get in. But there's more than just hair there, because hair you can only service a certain amount of people. A greenhouse is for everybody or, things like that nature. So that's kind of where I'm going with it because there are several salons in our rural little community, which surprised me, actually. We've lived there 3 years now. And in March, I will be in my house 2 years full-time without a part-time job at all. So 2 years ago, had you asked me that, I would have been like, no way this is going to work. And it is. So it can be done.
Well, I think, too, that if all of the other salons suddenly went away and it was only you don't have time for everyone.
No,
So,
and there is somebody for everybody, and I realize, because I've moved around different states, it's hard to get a hairstylist. Like, they are your friend, they trust you. It's hard to go to somebody new to get your hair done because it is the first impression that people see a lot of times. So to me come in and open a salon when there's already all these people going to other places. No, I respect that. Go to where you need to go. But if they can't get you in or somebody closes, there was a salon in Minden that closed that I got a lot of clients from. Things happen. The world changes. People evolve. So, I'm just here for if anybody needs it.
You mentioned that it can be the first impression that someone sees. Mm-hmm. It also has a lot to do with how we feel walking into someplace. I have experienced bad haircuts.
Oh, yeah.
And
Me too.
I went through a series, and it was a chain that I was using, and I don't anymore, and I don't want to get sued, so I don't mention them.
Right.
I know that when that was happening, and it seemed to be one bad haircut after another, I did not feel good.
Right.
Mentally and physically, it was just, I am just off because I knew that things weren't the way that I'm comfortable with. And once that problem was fixed, then I have a better confidence about me. And that's a big part of it.
It's a huge thing right now, especially because everybody's so judgmental. And, I mean, it's just the way the world has gone. And, bullying, like in the kids in school and things like that. So, appearance is very, very important and does make you feel better about yourself. And, you can be having a bad day, go get your hair done, and it turns your day around totally. So, yeah.
Well, I wanted to also talk to you today, and we last time we visited, we brought it up, but go a little bit further into it. You're very good at meeting people where they're at as far as their schedule is concerned and what's going to work for them. I think that's one of the reasons why you make yourself available certain evenings.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to do that.
I do. Everybody's schedule is different. Obviously, we live rural. There are people that do work in town, so they don't get off till 5 o'clock. Their kids are on sports on weekends, or they just want their weekends to themselves, or the last month, it's been cold every weekend, so I am open Monday through Thursday. People say, what time do you close? And I'm like, well, 7 o'clock. But, my clients actually make my schedule for me. Because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. So, I am more available to be convenient. And that has actually helped me grow quite a bit in the last year because people know they can just get into me within the day and a half. This morning, for example, I only have one person on the books. It's cold. Now I have 4. So I mean, it's just every day is different, so it's kind of makes it fun and interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of times you're not going to know, and that's what your phone telling us that more is coming in. But
Yeah.
you,
I just kind of play day by day.
yeah, you don't. Your day as you start it could end completely different than the way it started.
And it does a lot of times, yeah.
But making yourself available and flexible enough to do that, this ties into being in a small town and doing business in a more rural community. You have to be able to do that because it's about relationship building. And that's the kind of thing that says, okay, I know I can trust Heather. I know that Heather has my best interest at heart because she's making sacrifices in order to accommodate things.
Right. No, and it kind of goes both ways. A couple weeks ago, I actually had a surgery, I don't know, a week and a half ago or something like that. It was outpatient, not a big deal. But it came up really quick, and I had people on the books, and I'm like, hey, I can't do you. Like, I'm going to be out. And they're like, oh, no problem. And I did them before I ended up going into the hospital. So if I'm accommodating people are also accommodating me if something comes up, which doesn't very often, but, it's just nice to know that I have that relationship with my clients. I mean, they become like your family, so.
Were you in a rural community in Arizona, too?
We lived in Santan Valley, which was an unincorporated town.
Okay.
So I lived in an actual HOA neighborhood with all these rules and fancy blah, blah, blah. And then when I would go out and exercise, I would go by, we called them ranches because they weren't farms because it's desert out there, but with the horses and all that. So we were really rural. My two boys to go to high school did 2 stop signs and a roundabout. So, yeah.
Well,
yeah, it was pretty rural. But I was close to the city as well. I worked in Mesa, so.
Okay. Well, yeah, and the reason that I was asking was how big of a life change was it for you? Not just, obviously it's colder here.
Right.
But I'm saying that just from a lifestyle point, was it a big change, Underwood versus a smaller area around Arizona?
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah. Big time. Even though Santan Valley was small, there was still, your population is way more. I think Underwood has 900 people. I'm not sure. I think that's the census I got when we moved in when I was opening up the salon. And you don't know all your neighbors in Arizona. I mean, you know some of them, but, here it's more community. Yeah. The Midwest is more of a community type, smaller town where everybody talks, blah, blah, blah. That you go to your local other entrepreneur, friends, you shop at the boutiques, that type of stuff. Where down there it was more commercialized still at that time. So stores and things like that. They did have like boutiques and things like that, brick and mortars, but not a ton like I see here in the Midwest. It's kind of different.
Was it a tough transition for you to make those changes?
I mean, originally I'm from Omaha, so we left in 2013, so I didn't forget the Midwest. I'm still truly a Midwest girl.
But still Omaha. Omaha's not Underwood.
No, it is not. That's very different. And I always said I was not ever going to move back to Nebraska, and I didn't. I think the hardest is the weather. This time of year, I would really like to be in Arizona. I tell all my clients if I didn't have granddaughters, I would not be here right now. Because I do not like the cold, and your blood does thin out. I don't care if I've been back 3 years. Winter is still winter here, and my least favorite season. So, but, it's kind of nice to slow down a little bit and catch up on life and, take care of yourself and redo for the new year and get some new goals.
I say it every year. That, once we get into late January into February, that seems to be the coldest time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you take a look that we are 5 weeks away, less than 5 weeks away from March.
Yeah.
And we've made it to spring.
Yeah,
so
it's close.
We're getting closer.
And the older we get, the faster it goes anyway. It really does, so.
Yeah, you're not kidding about that. It seems like somebody just stepped on the accelerator where time is concerned, and it just flies right by. But at the same time, making the most out of the present. And you're really good at that. And I know your husband has been on board with so much of the stuff that you're doing. So
he's
this
my biggest fan.
This new greenhouse project that you're working on, I think that's great.
Thank you.
I think that these are the types of things that keep our minds active.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
make sure that we're making the most out of the present. And
Yeah.
plus, the ground's pretty good in Underwood, so you might as well take advantage
Oh,
of that too.
absolutely. Well, and it's good. I have my youngest son, he's home with me all the time. And then I have my 2 granddaughters, and it teaches them, that you can do anything you want to do. And, my granddaughters water flowers. Chaz has helped me. He watered them with Nerf guns since he was 5 years old. I mean, it's just kind of been a family type thing. All my kids plant. A couple of them do for sure and bring me plants out. So it's kind of always been a family hobby. So then when the kids come out to get away from the city and they hang out and it's pretty out there and we do family, Sunday dinners and stuff like that. It's a good vibe and a good view. So yeah, I'm excited.
And your new website, what's the web address?
Is www.heathershairhut.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are adding pictures on it daily, some gallery photos of some of the styles I've done and adding to it, slowly. She does work full time, who's doing it for me, so the gal. But yeah.
Very cool. I'm thrilled for all of the success that you've had so far.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to seeing the new stuff that's coming up this year.
Thanks.
And I know that you're going to...
Yeah, I'll have to have you come out.
it'd be-
I'm hoping the greenhouse will be open by May. Fingers crossed. But, as it gets closer and we're almost into February, I'm like, oh, my gosh.
I know.
We got to roll. So
I get it completely. I do the same with what we're doing around here at the studios. We've got all of these things. Okay, we're going to launch this. You understand that's in 2 weeks, right? Oh, well, we got to figure this out.
Yeah, for sure.
But I found that's what works for me is you just set a deadline and then meet the deadline.
Yeah.
And once
It'll happen.
Once it stops being an option, then we'll make it happen.
Well,
That's how it works.
I'm getting pretty good at that.
Well, Heather's Hair Hut. This is Heather Hoeft,
Thank you.
She is the one that you want to call and get a hold of, and it's cool that even online where it says book now, it's going to make your phone ring.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
good.
I hope to see y'all out in Underwood.
It is cold outside, but it is the right time if you know that you're going to be in the market to buy or sell a home. And it is time to be planning ahead. And that's why you want to talk to Blake Hunter, your trusted realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Blake knows the local market, and he's dedicated to helping you find the perfect place to call home. And he also appears several times on this show, fills us in a little bit more about everything that is going on around the housing market. He was just on last week. We'll have him on again very, very soon. In the meantime, go to his website, blakehunter.homes, and start hunting for your dream home with confidence. And Castle & Associates of American Family Insurance is your local insurance provider for all of your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. 4 convenient locations. They're in Trainer, Council Bluffs, Bellevue, and Elkhorn, which means they're local and in your neighborhood, ready to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis and his team will educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call for your free quote. Well, as you can hear, it's time for a lozenge. The voice is going. I'm going to hang in there. I promise I don't feel all that bad. It's just, it's kind of worked its way from my chest, and now I think it's starting to get into my vocal cords a little bit. That's what happens when you talk for a living. I use them a lot, and when they get inflamed, things can sound a little bit different. Well, anyway, I'm going to get stuff taken care of with that. And in the meantime, we have a long way to go with this week. So many great interviews still coming up, and I'm looking forward to it. My name is Todd Studer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning